Incoming technical difficulties. I guarantee there's at least one. Hold on. It's probably going to be on my side. Let's see.
It's gonna be Connor. No, I'm
It's
always
going to be Connor.
Oh, it's definitely going to be me.
Check something real quick.
Honestly, my little phone hotspot's not doing too poorly, so we'll see how that goes.
It's definitely going to be me.
Okay, my stream's good.
Everyone good?
I'm good, surprisingly.
Hopefully.
Give it a
Go on,
second.
Tyler, give us a little cheeky intro.
Hold on, I give it a little second, let notifications go out, because mine usually take about 35 seconds. Oddly, it's always 35 seconds on the money.
All right, sounds
You
good.
time that?
Well, I'll give a cheeky intro for my
Sweet, go
my
ahead.
channel
Good.
because I have some people in here. How's it going, everyone? We are going to talk about the crypto crash. We're going to talk about what we bought and a lot more. So, pretty excited to talk with you guys because I haven't talked with you yet today, and I have some questions for you
Sweet.
because I need to do some buying here soon.
Oh, yeah. It's about time. Let me send out some notifications real quick. Just completely blanked on that. There's my
Wait, what do
technical
you mean send out
difficulty.
notifications? What does that mean?
I like to my Patreon, whatever. I always let them know when we're
Oh,
live.
right, yeah.
You guys know the drill. Alrighty.
Absolutely.
Crazy week. Crazy week, though. I will say that. There we go. Alright, there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, guys, it has been fun. We surprisingly, it's been a smooth sailing ship for the last 30 minutes here. We usually have a bunch of technical difficulties, usually on Connor's side, but I don't know, maybe he read a few books on how to, do basic operations on a computer. My boy figured it out. We're here. Steven is in the base motel right now, and then we got Sam in the, just casually sitting in the shadows still. So we are all back. The gang is all here. We are sorry it is a day early. I have to go out of town tomorrow, and I think, Connor, are you leaving sometime soon? You said you were going on a trip, or is that next week?
Next week. But I'll figure it out because I have respect.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah. So we are all good. We're all good to go. It was a crazy week though. It was definitely a crazy week. Big crash. I think we kind of all had a feeling it may happen at some point. Just kind of how everything was looking a little bit rocky, and we knew we'd see a big breakout one way or another. And it just so happened to seem like it was a downward fall. But it does seem like things are somewhat recovering a little bit. And so yeah. So what have you guys been thinking about this week? You've been buying. You've been not buying anything like that.
Yeah,
so
man. Well,
I've been changing up what I'm going to do because I don't have so many big things coming. So now most of my money is going to investing. So I decided to put 1/3 of my money after taxes and expenses in crypto, which means like I had some left over from taxes. So I have to put money in crypto here soon, and I put 4,000 in the day before the crash, and then the rest of the deposit didn't hit. So now I'm looking at it, wishing I had those prices again, just because I didn't have it right at that point. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to determine the best time to throw in a decent amount of money in there now.
Sweet.
Yeah, nice.
So that's where I'm sitting, wishing I had some better prices again. Although it's still good compared to like where we were a week ago. It's still like a 15% discount.
Yeah.
Is your money in stable coins at the moment? So you're ready for the dip?
Yeah. It's all sitting on the platform now in stablecoin.
Yeah. So that's the best. That's the best bet. So you're ready for that. Ready to pounce. I went nuts. I remember. I think we spoke about it on the channel or on the podcast like a few weeks ago. But I put in. So when we had the flash crash in what was it? May, right? Yeah, May, June. Yeah, in May when we had that flash crash. So I put in buy orders, like significantly lower than the crash, but enough that Wix could catch them, right? So I was like adamant that we're going to hit that same crash level again, and that will be the support, but then we'll wick below it. So I set these buy orders in, they were a couple of percent off where it hit. Like it went a little bit lower, but yeah, I bought ADA, Solana, XRP, and VET. I put like a lot of money. Like I pretty much put all of my money on the side back into the market. And then now I've already cashed out from the trade. I sold the dollar value of my Solana because it went up 50% in a day.
Nice.
So I sold the dollar value that I put in, and then now I just got free Solanas, and I'll do the same with the others when they pop. And yeah, so that's the game plan for me, because I don't think we're out of the woods yet, right? I would have. They're all my long-term plays. They're not gambling plays, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet. So while we're in this bouncing between 30 and 40, I'm going to accumulate as much as I can in my long-term portfolio, because we've stayed in this channel for an entire month now. Yeah. So it's like, you know, as long as, in my mind, as long as I'm buying my long-term portfolio on the dip, then it doesn't matter either way. If it goes lower, I'm going to hold it anyway. If it goes up really fast, I sell it, buy it back when it pulls back, because whenever there's that massive run up, you always get a pullback. You know what I mean? Like if it's steady climb, I won't sell it. But, you know, 50% in a day, we know we're already pulling back a bit today. So, yeah.
What you got, Steven?
No, I actually talked about on my channel that I didn't really buy too much over the last couple days. Really probably should have, you know, but I just didn't. I was actually just kind of busy,
Panicked.
right? What? I was actually just kind of poor. No, I'm just kidding. I was just kind of busy, and life got in the way. And like I have been doing more real estate stuff since I've been here on my trip. So I'm having to like drive around and look at things. It's very, you know, once again, very active. And I didn't really buy anything. Of course, I'm kicking myself. I wish I would have. Right there. Right. I mean, you could have picked anything a couple days ago and purchased, and then been up 20% the next day. So
right.
I actually made a video, and I was like, I'm human, and it sucks to be human right now because I made a really bad human decision, which is just getting distracted and not paying attention to kind of what I was doing. So that's my fail for this week.
I mean, in honest, like, fair enough. Like, you didn't sell. That would have been the error.
That's true.
Not buying isn't an error. Like, that was it was a calculated decision because you were busy. But selling would have been a decision that you made that was a mistake. Do you know what I mean? True. Because you panicked. So I don't think that holding through something like that is a decision in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not nothing. Yeah. Like it can't be taken as nothing, because that was. Woo, that was hard. That was hard. It's hard, guys. We made it.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was glued to the charts. Like I was sitting here that entire day when it was happening. I did not move from the seat. I remember texting the group like, "Oh boys, it's getting rough." Like I'm gonna go ahead. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and quickly share my screen. Hopefully this doesn't ruin everything, and I'll kind of show you guys just like what all I've been seeing, and then kind of like going forward what my plans were. So what I've kind of been doing is I've been buying in the same spot. And if you're in my Patreon, you know that I haven't really been doing much. Okay, so like all throughout these...
Shameless plug.
Yeah, of course. I never really... like, people know within the last month, I've only bought on 3 occasions, right? But those 3 occasions were the same areas, right? So what I kind of been doing is there's a certain chart I've been looking at specifically that has not failed me yet, right? It'll fail me at some point, but it's not failed me yet. And so what that is if we go from our the previous all-time high from that big cycle in 2017 all the way to the bottom that we set, something that I noticed on the Fibonacci's is that there's a big extension from the 1618 to the 3618 that Bitcoin's just been glued to. I mean, it's just absolutely moving in tandem with it, like very on the money, right? So if we go down like to the dailies, what I've just been doing is the same process. Every time that we retest this 1618, I buy it. And it's just that simple because it served as support so strong that it's just not falling through it. And eventually it may fall through it, or eventually we'll start to retest our 3618. But it's kind of just a 50-50 at this point. So what I've been doing, the 3 times that I bought was here on this big fall. I didn't catch it at the bottom. I caught it more like right here, sadly, because I wasn't paying attention. I caught this one here. And then yesterday I bought in 28,900, which I didn't time the bottom like perfectly. But I mean, it was pretty close. And it's just acted well. But there's something noticing, and I talked about it earlier. I kind of briefly said, like, I'm in the middle right now. I'm not 100% sure because we broke pattern a little bit, but we may be correcting that. Okay, so if I go down to the 4 hours, this is what I noticed, right? Every time we would dip into this little region here, we would see a very similar pattern. A fall. Let's go here. Here we go. So we would see a fall such as this into this rectangle, and then we would break through our downward trend that we set over the last couple of days / week, right? So we had the downtrend, we dipped, we broke through. We had this downtrend that we established here. We dipped all the way down into the rectangle. We immediately broke through. But something I noticed this time around that is actually correcting itself like right now, which would be fantastic, is that we dipped, we went up. We tested our downtrend, but we didn't break it. And that made me nervous because the upward momentum that we saw yesterday wasn't the same strength, that we saw from these previous dips, right? And so with that, what I noticed is I was like, we're going to need to break that line or we are more than likely going to retest down into here. And the more times we touch this support, the more likely it is we're going to break through it. But another thing that I noticed is that these levels that we're seeing here also operate on the 4-hour RSI almost perfectly. Right. So every single time we have seen this thing fall down the 4-hour RSI into oversold territory, it's a buy for me. Like that's every time I buy because we're dipping into the rectangle every single time. And so personally speaking, like this has been my buy and I'm going to keep doing it. What I'm looking for now is we're looking at an expanding wedge, right? We're seeing these higher highs getting set, but we're setting this level of support roughly around this area. So what I think would be optimal, just in terms of this recent buy that we had was that we start to retest. It would be nice if we could set a new all-time high, from the last month, basically, up to like the 42,000 range. And if that happens, that is going to be probably when they would see like one of the first short-term sales that I've made in a while, right? Because until we break this pattern, I think we're going to follow it, but I think we're going to follow it for a while, just personally speaking. So I've been buying just in here every single time, and it's just not failed me yet, and so that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I bought Bitcoin at 28,900 the other day. I always said if it fell down under 29,000 that I would immediately buy it without even hesitating. And then I also noticed Cardano has a very similar pattern, right? So just quickly, I'm not going to go too far about this one because it's the same thing. But if we go to its previous super cycle, we can see it, the Fibonacci extensions. This one's not the 161 or not the 1618 to the 361, but it's more focused between the 1 and the 1618. And it's been the same, right? I mean, it's just been absolutely working. Very, very similar to what Bitcoin's doing as well. If we go down to the dailies, you can see it's a very similar process, right? Every time we dip into our previous extension level, this is actually going to be our if I zoom out just so you can see it. It's gonna take me forever to zoom out. Oh well. But as you can see, every time we dip within our rectangle, right as we clear that Fibonacci retracement, it's a buy. It's a buy. It's a buy. It's a buy. But we're in a downward wedge right now. We can see this downward momentum, and so I'm looking to see this clearing pretty soon. So I think I've been buying ADA at $1 to 90 cents to $1 any single time it falls down there, and then that's been big gain so far. And then we bought, I think we bought 2 days ago at $1 specifically. It was like a 38% gain within 24 hours, which is great. So that's a little technical analysis for the money morons time. But yeah, so that's what we've been doing. And it's working so far, but who knows? Maybe one day everything will just crash under all of our levels and I'll get screwed out of all my stop losses, but who knows? So
ADA is a steal at $1. So are you trading these with stop losses? Are these like, what's the plan?
So I have a few set. I have a few set. I don't like to put long-term stop losses on my long-term holds because ADA's going to hit $7.50 with no doubt in my mind at all. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I have no doubt in my mind to hit $7.50 at least once, like at least within the next 3 or 4 years. So realistically, if it falls down to 90 cents, like I don't want to sell it there because the big picture is that there's still a lot of room to grow. So I feel like it's better off to buy. But personally speaking, there are a few levels that I think if we clear, we're going to see a further drop. And those are a little bit more specific. So like if we fall below 28,500, I anticipate 26,000's next. You know what I mean? But so I have a few minor stop losses there for like 10%, where I'm going to exit 10% of it just to free up some cash, just so I can buy it a little bit lower. But for the most part, I'm not going to sell any of my long-term holds for a very, very long time. For sure. Yeah.
Like I said, I think the best thing in choppy waters like this is have your dry powder at the side, buy dips. If you have aggressive runs upwards, it's great to take some profit there because it we're not going to move 50 to 100% in a day on the big market cap things, right? We're not talking hype coins here, like big market caps, like ADA. Like if they move 50% in a day, they're going to retrace because it's people. The only reason why they're moving like that is because people are jumping to not. They're like, it's crazy that FOMO just happens every single time, like clockwork, every single time. Do you know what I mean? So if you learn to train your emotion to know, like to see, and obviously you're not right every time, it doesn't happen like that. But if you can see something in play, do you know what I mean? Like, that horrible dip that we had was because, manipulation plus FOMO or, being scared, like panic selling, right? But then on the way up, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Like there's no different. So you just got to you know, you got to go into the trade expecting what you're going to do next, right? So trading that emotion.
For sure. So the question is, so I know Sam and Steven both said they were looking to buy soon. Is there a specific time that you're maybe looking to buy? Are you looking to see a dip again? Or are you maybe just kind of waiting to see how the weekend plays out? Do y'all have any plans for what's next? Or is it kind of just wait and see what happens?
So I have $9,000 or $10,000 ready to go into crypto. I have half of it with the buy orders or limit orders at about 10 to 15% down from here. So not where we saw the other day, but about half that, just in case we see a little bit of a dip and then it continues upward. The other half I want to put in manually in case we go a lot lower, and then I'll wait to see some support back around where we were before. So I'm not trying to be too greedy with it. I do have some that are only 10 or 15% down from here, but I definitely want some dry powder on the sidelines too. Yeah. What about you, Steven?
Yeah, same. I'm just, I'm good. I'm all in my positions. I'm just going to let it ride. I mean, once again, I think maybe like if Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that, if I see another massive hit to it and dip like we did a little while ago, I'll probably jump in and buy some more. But there's just I have a lot of places that I want to throw some money at right now, and I'm good. I'm already in my position, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, maybe take a little bit more. I mean, I still have a lot sitting around in stablecoin, but I don't know. I probably should do something with it, but I like having just it there just for, I don't know. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna wait and see for a while.
Are you staking it? Are you staking your stables?
That's what I probably will do in a second. Yeah.
The thing is, like I put it off for ages, but if you just open an account on BlockFi, link in the bio, don't worry about that.
Shameless plug.
I'm the only one not actively promoting something on this live stream.
No, but yeah, it's so easy, right? Like it's like I kicked myself. The amount, like the length of time I've held, for example, Bitcoin, like 4 years, and I didn't stake it. I just held it. Like it's just like, even if you only have it in there for a week and you got a decent amount of stable coin, you'll get, a decent return on that. So it's like worth it just to move it over.
So the one thing,
especially
okay.
I have 40 something in stable coin right now, so I should do something with it.
Yeah, just chuck it on a platform and stake it.
So a question I have, because Sam kind of talked about it, and he said a good point where he's like, I want to manually buy it. Connor, I know you set limit orders. Do you set them a good bit, or do you kind of just do it a little? Because I kind of have I'm a bit in between, right? So like I had a few set for ADA at $1, just because I didn't think we would hit $1 again. Like that was just one thing I was like, if we hit $1, it's going to be a touch. No one, like, ADA is so strong at this point that I think like, if we're going to hit $1 and keep going down, it has to be dramatic. Like it would be something really big, because the amount of limit orders at $1 is ridiculous. It's the same thing, in my opinion, at Bitcoin. If we ever saw 20,000, I could not imagine it would go under it. You know what I mean? But my issue is I get nervous about them, right? Because like when it comes to limit orders, I always fear, what if something fundamentally happens that is just terrible? You know what I mean? Like something really bad happens where it's like the owner of ADA just comes out and says, he just goes on Twitter and says, I'm scamming all of you, big rug pull, get wrecked. And it just crashes. And I'm the one who just bought, 10,000 ADA.
Charles Hodgkin.
Yeah, at $1, So like, do y'all do them a good bit, or is it kind of just like, I'll put a little bit in if it hits that, but just in case, like I'd rather buy manually. Cause I'm at my computer all the time, so I'll just buy it.
I mean, I only put limit orders for the coins that I'm like adamant on. Do you know what I mean? Okay. It's like at the end of the day, I don't have stop losses. So it really, if something like that happened, like if Satoshi Nakamoto came out and was like some, tyrannical leader, like my portfolio is going to go to nothing anyway. So like the limit orders that I have aren't going to play. Like, yeah, it will add fuel to the fire, but right. But like on a scale of like, I don't really set them very often, but in times like this, like now I haven't reset those orders that I had, right? Because last time we crashed in May, I was 100% sure we would retest that, but I knew I would be around for the retest of 30K, but I didn't know if I would have the ability to buy the wicks, right? So I put them always lower than the technical analysis is going to tell us it's going to go. right? So it's like, if technical analysis is like 50-50, right? It might go to 30, let's say.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it at 28.5 because I'm like, right, I can buy it with my hand at 30. I can make a decision at that point. It will last enough time, right? But I won't have time to buy it at 28.5 because it'll only probably be there for like, however many minutes or seconds, so that's really what I use limit orders for. And then I only use them on my long-term holds, not on day trades or swing trades.
Okay. What about you, Sam? Do you use them?
Yeah, I just use them because I know sometimes at night I'm just not going to be able to get to it, and sometimes we've already recovered a little bit by the time I wake up. So I leave them just as like a nice insurance policy because I need to put money in there sometime. I'm bullish over the year, so I might lose out on 2 to 5% or 2 or 10% or whatever. But if I have half of them already set and then I buy the other half manually, I'm happy with that. I'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my theory on it.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, they're not perfect, like you said, but otherwise everyone would be doing them, right? If you knew that you were always going to get them at a good value.
Yeah.
And there wasn't going to be anyone that came out and like crashed it afterwards.
It's such a hard balance, right? Because we see these crashes happen where it's like, I'll look back on my charts. I'm like, man, I wish I'd have got Bitcoin when it just freaking barely touched 28,500 just so I could have. But the thing is, they move so fast. Like they just move so fast. Now, one thing I will say I was surprised about, Bitcoin stayed under 30,000 for a while last week, or the like 2 or 3 days ago, whenever it dropped. I can't remember the exact day. It stayed there for, I don't remember the exact time, so don't roast me. But I feel like sitting here, maybe time slowed down because I was like staring at the screen, but it felt like 30 minutes at least that we were under 30K. And I was contemplating, I was like, is this about to recover? Because usually in the past, we've seen it like hit 28.9 or 28.8 and then immediately shoot back up. You know what I mean? And so I was like, it's moving kind of slow. It made me a little nervous for a second. I was like,
like the thing is, in my videos, I'm always trying to like be like, we're real people. You know what I mean? Like, my buy orders went in, and I got I absolutely smashed that Solana buy, right? Because I was like, it's never going to hit $20 again, and then I managed to buy Solana at $20 and then 50% move. Like I smashed that. There's no arguing it, but there's no denying that in the moment where it dropped slightly lower than my buy, I was like, wait, hold up, wait a minute. Why are we still dropping? And you're right, it lasted longer than I expected because in May it flash crashed, right? And it went up. Like, my portfolio dropped like 6 figures, right? And those 2 days in May, it was horrible. But the dead cat bounce we had, I got back up, more than 50% of what I lost, and then re-lost it because I didn't sell anything, obviously. But like, it's like that was so quick. Whereas on the other day, it was a lot longer beneath than we had a hope. But then hopefully it's that whole Wyckoff playing out, the spring. That's what we can hope for. But obviously it's still up in the air whether or not that's really going on.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I'm actually very pleased with what we're seeing at the moment. Like, I wasn't even really looking at the charts or anything. So whenever I went and look at the TA earlier, like, the fact that we cleared that downward trend line and we entered back into the 34,000-ish range, I was happy because, like, one thing that people say is, like, I think it's important to zoom out, but I think it's important to zoom in, too. You know what I mean? And so, like, whenever you're looking, like, I went over yesterday kind of, like, retracements versus reversals, meaning, like, you see that initial fall. From there, you're either going to see a retracement, which is just an entrance back up into your retracement zone. A dead cat bounce is going to fall again, or a reversal, where eventually you climb all the way back up. And when I was watching those charts, when it happened, everything said retracement. Like when I was watching it, we saw the crash, we went back up, we went to the 618 to the 786, we sat there, we hit resistance, and we fell. I'm like, that's a retracement. Like, this thing looks like it's going back down. The next thing you know, it finds support, and now we're back at 34,000. I'm like, we might be looking at a reversal now. So who knows? Maybe you'll see on the channel a V-shaped recovery title video from Tyler. But I agree with you. People don't realize we're human too. So it's like, I can say if it goes down to 28,000 or 29,000, I'm going to buy it there. But the moment it starts to keep falling, you start to second guess like, yo, stop falling, bro. Stop falling, bro. And it was kind of scary.
I mean, the most important thing is don't be setting limit orders. Don't be buying, like, don't be buying with more money than you could accept to lose. In that moment, it's like, like, I'm frustrated because I'm like, damn, it could go lower, but at the end of the day, if I lose the money that I've decided to put in my limit order, it's not going to be any skin off my nose, right? So it's like, either way, it's fine. So like, yeah, you just got to be safe with the amount that you're investing, because I think it's easy to get carried away with thinking, chasing. Like I think as like that buy the dip mentality is almost as easy to drop into as FOMO.
Yeah,
because you're almost FOMOing into the fact that you could do well. But like in my opinion, as long as it's at a level where you've done your research, it's more likely that you're going to make money at that point, at the dip point. But yeah, you just gotta use such a small amount of money, or an insignificant amount of money, because like we're in this for the long run. So there's no need to be trying to like become a millionaire on a dip, on the single dip. There's going to be many dips, many dips.
Especially right now.
Do you guys think we'll retest 30 again? Because my problem is I see all the bullish things coming, but I never see all the fear, all the like crappy news articles about China. Like I don't see those coming. Like I see all the great things coming. So I'm sitting here watching it at 34.5 and I'm like, crap, I need to buy some more sometime soon. So I just keep on waiting for it. I want it to dip, but I'm curious what you guys think. Will we see 30?
Yeah, I think we will. I think
Really?
we will. Maybe it'll be 31 or 30. Yeah. No, I like, the thing is like I'm not a big TA guy. I'm more a psychological warfare kind of guy. You know what I mean? It's like we are ranging between 30 and 40. When we drop, like, everyone now who's bullish thinks that we're never going to touch it because the Wyckoff accumulation we've sprung and we're up, right? So the people who do that and blindly follow that idea will think at 32 that we're crashing again, and they'll start to sell it, right? So it might not be a case of like, oh yeah, we go back to 30 and we stay there. It might be a case of, we wick down to 30 and then we come back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pretty likely that we will. But really, at the end of the day, with Bitcoin, there isn't much difference in percent. You're talking 10% here, right, from where we are essentially. So like, if you got money on the sidelines and you want it in the market, I'd just put it in, but only if like it's in there for the long run, right? If it's a short-term trade and you're looking for a 10% gain on like 10x leverage or something, whatever people do, I don't leverage trade, but like if that's what someone wants to do, then yeah, you're better off waiting. But dollar cost averaging, baby.
It's the way.
Sam, are you a technical analysis guy? Are you a TA guy?
Not to the level of Tyler, but yeah, I look at support and resistances and stuff like that, but not anything like all those different trend lines and stuff. And I look at like the 50-day, the 200-day, stuff like that. But
and honestly,
I'm more of a fundamentals guy, but fundamentals haven't really helped that much.
Yeah, no.
Over like, there's just so many great things happening in crypto, and it's just like China bans it, done, just crashes down.
Yeah,
it's just like
the 8th time that China's banned it. And
I'm about to say the
same
story over and over and over again. Elon Musk doesn't like it. China bans it. That's it. And like literally none of this matters. Like it's been like this for a long time, and that's why like I'm kind of like Conor with a more of a psychological person and like behavioral economics kind of view on all this. It's like what are the people thinking? Because that's that. I don't do TA either. Just because I definitely feel like there's that irrational element to human behavior that dictates things massively.
Which TA is essentially human psychology, right? It's just looking at numbers as opposed to fundamentals. So you guys are kind of like looking at both then, essentially, right? TA and fundamentals, because you're looking at human psychology.
And what I'll say,
I like basic. Yeah, go on.
Okay, like what I will say is like, so I think everyone can accept at this point there is at least base level manipulation going on right now. Like there's something going on. But what I must say that I've noticed, and I talked about in a video, and I'm talking about in a video later today, the technical analysis and the manipulation are in line with each other. Every single time that I have seen some manipulation come out that really moves the market, it's at a key moment where we were about to break out. It's almost been every single time I've seen it. We were sitting right at I remember it was so nice. We were sitting right out. We broke out of I don't remember exactly when it was or which one it was, but we broke out of our wedge. We had gone all the way up back to our fib retracement. It was resistance. We cleared it. We fell down, established support, then as soon as we establish support and look for the uptrend to begin, like some big article comes out, and then on the dailies you see it tank all the way back through. It almost seems to me like the whoever is pulling the strings, they are paying attention to when things are supposed to go good and moving it back downward because they're just not ready yet. I think at some point when we see the manipulation slow down, I can't imagine a time in the past where we would have seen an entire country bring on a cryptocurrency such as like just Bitcoin in general and legalize it as a tender with and not see a massive uptake and a massive increase in volume because people are excited. I don't buy it. You know what I mean? And so I'm noticing the manipulation and the technical analysis on a more broad term going hand in hand, like right now. And it's so frustrating because I'll be we'll be live. I'll be talking with some of my Patreon members. I'll be like, all right, we just cleared it. We're ready. All right, let's see. Can we establish support? 2 hours later, I jump on. All right, we establish support. It's time to go. Elon Musk tweets a breakup emoji or something like that with Bitcoin and shoots it all the way back down to 30K. It's so annoying. It frustrates me so bad.
That's why I'm like adamant that manipulation is happening. Like, I don't like to say that it's definitely happening. Obviously, it's my opinion, but like it's everything happens too perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, with Elon Musk, I feel like there's another ulterior motive going on, whether or not it's good or bad, whatever that might be. But like, for sure, like it's too perfect, right? It doesn't make any sense. And like, I'm a bull on Bitcoin. Like, I think there's every reason to manipulate an unregulated market. So why wouldn't you?
Right.
That's what I was going to say. Like, why wouldn't there be manipulation? Like, literally, why wouldn't there be?
Yeah. Especially when it happens at moments like, you were saying.
Have you noticed too, it's always at like the perfect time of day? And that might just be because that's when people are actually looking, but it's always at like 9:30 Eastern time. So like people on the West Coast are awake, people on the East Coast are awake, or it's like at night when people are looking at their phones. And that might just be because people are actually looking at their portfolios and selling, but it's always at an interesting time. It's less like it's in the middle of the night anymore and people can't do anything. So it's always people manipulating it at the worst time.
Dude, it drives me absolutely nuts because it's just it makes me bullish, it makes me bearish, it puts me in the middle. Because one thing that I will say is that if these institutions are willing to manipulate it, they understand the potential it has. They can clearly see, look, we're going to manipulate this. We're going to hold it down here and accumulate as much as we possibly can because once this thing takes off, it's not coming back. That's one side of it. But then there's the other aspect of it that there is going to be short-term damage, right? There is going to be short-term damage to it in terms of how serious people take it. I think because, and we've talked about it in the past, but I think that whenever you see a market that is so easily manipulated and because it's unregulated, that it almost puts it's a stain on it, because there's going to be that level of investor who is a little bit more serious in terms of wanting those more stable things. And when they see just pure manipulation happening, and I'll be willing to, like, I'll just say it, like, it's not even just my opinion. Like, in my opinion, it's fact, right? I think there's manipulation going on, and it creates this overall sensation that there's a group of people who won't take it serious because it can be moved so easily, and that's the short-term damage that I think it will be. Eventually, I don't think any of this is going to matter, okay? I think at the day when Bitcoin hits 100K, no one's going to care what was going on right now. But there's always that, okay, but it can happen again, and that's what makes me nervous about crypto in the future. But it's unregulated, so we got to know, it
will happen again. Yeah. Like exactly the same thing will happen in a few years. Exactly wherever we are, if we're 100K, we'll drop to 50K. If we're 1 million, we'll drop to 500,000. The same panic will be happening. There'll be new people in the market who are panicking the same exact way. Same thing happened in 2017 that's happening now. The news headlines are exactly the same. JP Morgan likes it one day, hates it the next day. Like, the thing is, short term, yeah, cool. It's a bad thing. Like, it sucks to see my portfolio move, 50% down. But if they're manipulating the market now, they're going to manipulate it the other way. So that's why it's just like, I said it in today's video, like, just take some profits. Like, we're all here for the long run, right? We're all here. We believe in Bitcoin, but just take a bit of profits off the table, because that way, no matter what happens, you either have money to buy the dip or you made a bit of cash, right? Because it's not real until you take a bit of profit.
Right.
Can you imagine how bad it's going to be? I think it's going to be harder, first of all, to manipulate when Bitcoin's at 500K or 1 million or whatever, just because the market cap will be so much higher. Mm-hmm. But can you imagine the fear that's going to happen when someone has half a Bitcoin at 1 million and it goes down to half half of that. So then they lose 250K within like a couple weeks. Like everyone that's going to be like a millionaire there is going to freak out. And then you have the same people that bought it at $1 million and they bought like $5,000 worth and now it's 2,500. It's going to be crazy the amount of fear that happens when so many people are rich.
I don't know if I agree, just because the people who have $1 million, like, you know, if it goes to $1 million, I'll be one of the people who has that amount of money, right? And I won't be panicking. Yeah. So like, I don't think the kind of person who puts in $1 million when it's worth $1 million will be panicking, because they would have made that decision. I mean, there'll be reckless people, sure, but I don't think, you know, the people who will be panicking if it's $1 million will be the people who only have 0.01 of a Bitcoin and then it crashes half.
Yeah,
so
and
they still lose $5,000.
And you got to consider too, like there's two things about that, like. The people who are willing to buy it now and hold it to $1 million, the amount of stuff that they're going to go through mentally until that point, I doubt then, like, you see Bitcoin go from 70K to friggin', I don't know, 30K at some point, you lose 60% of your entire holding. Like, I think you're more likely to sell then than whenever you've seen these big drops happen dramatically time and time again. But I personally think that as time does go on, we will see Bitcoin stabilize a lot. Like, I think the gains are still limited. You know, I think that, sure, it could happen, you know, as time does go on. But I think that we're going to see Bitcoin grow less and fall less. You know, I think because we don't see gold prices just going up 50% in the span of 2 days. You know what I mean? So I think that stabilization will happen eventually. But I think that the excitement around Bitcoin itself will slow down, as it's not going to be that big, massive buying opportunity where everyone can get rich in the span of a year. You know, I think that's when true altcoin season begins, is when Bitcoin really stabilizes. And we're not at that point yet. You know, that's just kind of my opinion on that, a little bit off topic. But yeah, no. There's definitely going to be people who are going to freak out, though. 1,000,000%. If somebody just so happens to make it to that point and they see their portfolio drop like 30%, 1 mil to 700K, I would be upset. So, so for sure.
Yeah. Man.
I had to tell housekeeping.
What were you going to say?
So I had to tell housekeeping to go away.
Oh.
So get out of here. I'm trying to work. Get out of my room, Mom. That's kind of how I felt.
So
what do you guys think is the proper amount of crypto for a portfolio?
It's such a great
like
question.
For your what?
I see, that's such a great question.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously it's going to be based on your own risk tolerance, but I think we might have talked about this a little bit before. For me, like I said, I'm going a third crypto now, but I already have more in stocks. I think it would be way less than that if we didn't get interest rates on crypto. Like right now, we're getting anywhere from 5 to 10% on different cryptos, which obviously doesn't help all that much if it gets cut in half. But personally, that like I would probably only have 15 or 20% in crypto if we didn't get those interest rates. It just cuts out so much risk in my opinion. Makes me more bullish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm super bull. You know what I mean? So
Conor's like, you gotta be like 90% by now, right, buddy? Like you gotta be like that.
Well, it was. It's now probably around 2/3, whatever the number percent is that.
I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't have the like emotional bandwidth
66%,
to do that.
So I should add the caveat, because I think we might have talked about this literally last week, but like long term, like when you're ready to stop making money, how much do you want in crypto versus stocks, real estate, appreciating assets that aren't crypto?
35% for me on the dot.
35.
I want to do, so like me specifically, I want to go 35% crypto. I did the numbers. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember that it was like I wanted a little bit over a third in crypto, a little bit under a third in stocks, and a little bit over a third in real estate. That was kind of like my thing there, because my stocks are, you know, I love stocks, and I think that the stock market it's obviously here forever. You know what I mean? And I think it's just super stable. It's super sturdy. I feel like I tend to like the idea of maintaining my wealth through real estate, because I think real estate and just overall land itself is limited in terms of like we're just running out of room at this point. You know what I mean? Whenever it comes to that. So I think real estate's value will increase almost no matter what over time, just because it is limited. I mean, you look at certain cities, like they're running out of space already. You know what I mean? And the population's only growing. And then crypto, I think, just still has the highest growth potential in terms of reward out of that group, but has the highest risk out of that group. So there's kind of a balance. That's just me. So that's my idea.
Yeah. Well,
Conor, at retirement, what's he thinking?
I actually missed what the question was.
How much do you want in crypto long term? Like when you're ready to retire?
Wait, sorry, what did you say? Steven's
how much do you want in crypto long term, like when you retire? Like obviously your portfolio has grown a ton, right? Like what, 10x, 5x? But how much 10x, do you want in real estate and in stocks? Like, let's say once you have a couple million in there or something like that.
I mean, going what Tyler said, like I'll be far heavier on, because this is the boom time of crypto, right? Once crypto becomes more mainstream and like exactly like that, I think stocks will be around forever. I think crypto is going to be around forever, but it won't be such a major part of my portfolio once I move into being able to, because you mentioned it in one of your videos, Sam, like I can't get a mortgage. Like I don't have steady income. Do you know what I mean? So like once I'm able to move into being able to leverage properties and stuff, that will be, my portfolio will be far more weighted on, having, smart debt than it will be in crypto. But right now I just don't have the option. Like I can buy a flat in cash, sure, but it's not as good of a return if I do that. Do you know what I mean? So right now it's super heavy on crypto, but in the long run, I'll have, crypto, property, and stocks all. They'll probably, I'll probably aim for them all to be, an equal third or something. And then whatever other forms of investment that we have, business and all of that sort of stuff, it won't be the major part of my portfolio forever. Just nice. Right now, I think now's the time. If you're gonna go, all in, obviously I'm not, but if you're gonna go I want to say deep, but I'm not going to say it because we're like.
What you got, guys, Steven?
Round things deep.
No, I think it's a great question. Yeah, I think that Connor's right too. Like this is such a boom cycle, right? It's like the gold rush out in California in the early 1900s or something like that. And it's just like you got to get in quick and grab all you can and stow it away, and then kind of switch and pivot allocations. I mean, when I retire, never will, but when I get to a point where I want to be more conservative, I don't know, probably 5%, 10% in crypto, just as a fun, kind of gambling type thing, things I find personally interesting, things I think might be the next big thing or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's no amount of money that would want to make me mess with my peace of mind or with my stability. It's just not. That's what, for me, that's what money buys me, is peace of mind and stability. So there's literally no amount that I could want to make that I could risk taking that peace and stability away to make that amount. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's just me. And I think that's great. So I was talking to let's talk about, should we talk about the Safemoon squeeze before the end of this thing?
Sure. Yeah, let's definitely talk about Safemoon. But I don't know if you guys are watching your chats, but scam bots or people who are just trying to scam have infiltrated lives now.
Are you serious?
Are you having the same thing? I've got people who are clearly guys, anyone watching my stream, anyone who's going, what's this? I've been trading for years with him and I know he's legit. He's a trading great. Why is this happening? I thought we were free of this on lives,
Block them.
I didn't know that was happening. I have certain things muted. You can't say certain things in my comment section anymore. So the word trading, smart. You can't put trading in my comment section anymore. You can't put advising in my comment section anymore. So maybe that's what's stopping it.
Yeah, good spam filters.
Yeah.
Mr. or Professor, you can't throw in there anymore.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, those are good. I'm gonna put those in.
Hey, I actually have a really good question that applies to what we were just talking about. It's actually It says, how much crypto profit do you guys allocate to other investments? Do y'all do that? Like, do you because I know Connor's adamant on taking profits. Do you ever take profits from crypto and then allocate them to stocks or anything like that, or is it more like keep it within the realm, the same circle?
I was about to buy a flat before the crash.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't. I didn't do it in time. So yes, I would. If we get back to that level again, I'll take, because it won't be a significant part. Like now it's a significant part of my portfolio because I lost half, but up there it's not a significant part. So yeah, just as form of taking profits, I will take profits and buy in cash. But the reason why I'm avoiding in cash is because I would rather be able to buy, be able to leverage and put deposits down and get mortgages and stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I'm at the same point because I want to keep that a little bit over a third, a little bit less than a third, a little bit over a third, portfolio, but that's going to be hard to maintain with the growth that we are going to see from crypto, right? So my game plan is like, say, if I just let crypto go, it's 30%. I think crypto eventually becomes 60% just because of how much it grows, right? That compounding is going to compound so much. So personally speaking, like, I would at that point start taking profits at certain, justifiable levels to use that to compound my other investment portfolios to make sure I retain that balance. And that helps, just in overall terms of emotion, so I don't have as much money put in. That was a great question. Whoever, Jim May, good. That was a fantastic question. But I know you wanted to jump into Safemoon. Steven, what we got?
Yeah. So I'm answering just some questions on my thing. Yeah. But there's a Safemoon squeeze that people wanted to do. I don't know where it kind of came from, but it's that, people want to rally together and drive the price up, basically, right? Want to dump some money into it, drive the price up and have a squeeze, which comes from, of course, the GameStop squeeze, right? And the getting the short sellers out. And it's so weird that it's like such a mixed metaphor. I'm like, it's not the same thing happening here. You're not getting the same results. And like, what's there? And it almost couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
You're not sticking it to anyone.
Right.
Squeeze
sticking it to nobody.
Only
there can't be a squeeze.
They're trying to take advantage of the burn function, from what I've heard, and their mind is the more that we can get the increased rate of transaction going, the more that they would see some type of burn from there that's going to fundamentally increase the value of the coin as it burns more, or something along that nature. And I must just say, I don't like it. Okay, I don't think it's a good idea, and I don't advocate for it whatsoever. And I love Safemoon, but I don't like it.
It's stupid because anyone that's doing that is the one that's losing money and giving everyone else money. So anyone that's posting about it is just not doing it probably, and then asking other people to do it that don't understand it. So that way they just get reflections, because otherwise you're the one that's burning through all your 10% fees.
The thing is about
and there's no shorts, right? You can't short Safemoon.
No.
Unless, I don't know how you would do that unless you had some like back alley way of short selling. You just agree with someone.
We got to be realistic. Like, I love that to say that, because that was the title of my last video. It's time to be realistic. Like, all I see consistently, and it's more focused within the Facebook community from what I've seen, is that people want those immediate, instantaneous returns, and like, it's just not where we're at right now. It frustrates me.
Yeah. I did just Safemoon. You got in it early to try to like 100x, but once it's at $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion, $5 billion, do you think it's gonna eclipse Ethereum like in the short term? Probably not. So that's just my opinion. But you're in it long term for reflections and for growth with the whole crypto market now, right? Unless Bitcoin gets back to old levels, you're probably not gonna 5x or 10x.
Yeah, I really want there to be an understanding in the Safemoon community that we are done with the 1000x. Like, it's not realistic to expect that anymore. And like, if people have been following my channel for ages, you know that I'm about Safemoon. Like, I think it's great. Like the name in itself, I think, is silly, but that whole thing with Dogecoin and all of that stuff is like, that's what makes it a meme. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason why it won't be a meme in 4 years, the next bull run in however many months, whatever it is. But I just wish that we could move from the mentality of expecting, 100, 1000x, whatever it is, overnight. Like, it's a project now that's really trying to do something. They're really trying to do something at this point.
Yeah.
So having the mentality that all we're in it for is 1,000x. Obviously, I want 1,000x. I want Bitcoin to 1,000x, but it's not realistic at a $2 billion market cap that it's gonna 100x from here. Do you know what I mean? It's just not realistic
100%.
anymore. So it's like, it may very well 100x if it lasts and it tells the test of time or whatever. Like, it makes it through. It was Dogecoin when it started in 2014 or 2013, whenever it was, right? Do you know what I mean? And it made it through to 5-10 years, whatever it is. Sure, maybe then you're going to get this massive return again, but like, just wanting that huge return in the short term is what's holding it ever being taken seriously.
Yeah.
Because that's what the majority of people want now, is they're still getting into it because they expect 100x. And when it moves 10%, no one's happy. But when you come from the background that we do, a 10% move in a day is amazing.
Yeah.
That's, if I got stocks that move 10% in a day, or imagine your portfolio on the stock market went up 10% in one day. That's a year's return in a day. But everyone's spoiled because of the way it's been. And we're not in that market anymore, right? So it's like, especially now, you got to get into projects that you believe in and hold them and expect it for a long-term return, not 100x in a day anymore. That was my rant. Sorry, I'm still still a long-term bull on Safemoon, but I only have a small portfolio, a small percentage of my portfolio in it, like a tiny percent, because yeah,
I agree. And
I think thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I think the only thing that is going to move Safemoon's price is and I say it like, I'm sure they're tired of hearing it, but the addition of intrinsic value is the only thing that'll really get it moving. And I think the hype, the this, the that, we should get Jeff Bezos to go to war with Elon Musk, but he'll get us to $1. Like, all these type of things, like, sure. Okay, sure. Let's say we get a squeeze. Let's say we get Jeff Bezos on board. Sure, let's say that happens. Realistically, that then says, okay, Safemoon is going to be here now, but in 2 years from now, it's going to be gone. That, like, the likelihood of that's very possible. If you want a major short-term price movement that is going to send this thing up maybe 10x, 20x, understand that when it falls, the likelihood of it revisiting those levels is very unlikely. And that's just how it is. I think what's going to be so important is taking the necessary steps to let this thing develop itself into a truly established project, rather than trying to keep it just as everyone can get rich off of this now, because it's not the case. And people are going to come into this with bad expectations. They're going to go into Safemoon expecting that they'll make double their money back by, July 2nd. That's not going to happen. They're going to get mad. They're going to call everyone who is shilling Safemoon a scam. They're going to call Safemoon a scam. And then it's just going to be overall FUD that no one needs in an environment where everyone is emotional enough. And so that's why I try to tell people, I'm like, lower your expectations, okay? It's over. Like, if you missed it, you missed it. It is what it is. What we need now is to let this thing grow, let them develop it, and then as its overall use case grows, as people are incentivized to buy it, and if they have a true reason to use Safemoon, is the only thing that is going to really send this thing up over the long term. And it gets me going. It gets me going. It makes me so annoyed. But yeah, so
yeah, totally. And it's like, we're bullish on Safemoon, and we still, you gotta have this sort of conversation. It's like, I want everyone to be bullish on it, but be realistic. Yeah. It's a $2 billion market cap. They've absolutely smashed it. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've already smashed it. So like,
Yeah. And we're not like I'm not pointing anyone out, but we're not the people that will say that it's gonna 100x by this date. Like I've seen some channels do that. Like, if it 20x, it would be the same as ADA, Cardano. Like, that would be insane. So I feel like now is the time to collect reflections, wait for them to try to figure out whatever they're gonna do. Hopefully they build a little bit stronger base just as a company or as a project with all their different things that they're working on. Because honestly, if they can pull off everything they're working on, that's insane. Because I don't imagine they have like 200 people on their team or anything like that. Like, they're still a small team and they're doing a ton. Do you guys know if there's any other country that accepts crypto as legal tender besides El Salvador? So like, if they got Gambia to accept it as legal tender, that'd be insane, right?
Yeah, that's the only one. El Salvador is the only one.
Yeah, so I don't know if that will happen, but if they could do that, that'd be awesome. So
guys,
sit and wait.
Gonna have to wrap this up soon for me. Hard the harder end. Do you guys want to do you have any super chats?
His
Yeah,
agent's
hard
gonna
out.
be pissed at us for keeping him so long.
Yeah, like I got to go. I've got rallies. I've got I'm going for governor of Dubai.
We are at about
really, that was a joke.
We are at about 54 minutes. So I mean, if y'all want to jump in, we can do a little live AMA, answer some questions, and wrap this thing on up. Since we are coming up on about an hour, as Conor said, he got to go get do his makeup and everything before he leaves. So
you know it. I got to get rid of this
for his next appearance.
Yeah,
this blush.
You guys get it going. Again, anyone, if you do have any questions, leave them in the chat. We'll try to get to them in a timely manner.
I got a little two here. Got Shannon Huggins. She's actually calling you out, Sam. Oh no, I'm joking. It's actually really good. She thinks that your Wyckoff video, exactly what you said, and it's going to play out. So slingshot the market to a new all-time high. So I'm sure Sam appreciates that. Thank you, Shannon. And
I'm knocking on wood over here.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of Safemoon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually haven't. So feel free to. I'm gonna take it.
I haven't checked it out yet. I've just been getting like spammed a lot, like a lot about it.
Yeah.
Which ain't a bad thing. I love the enthusiasm.
I had Safemoon. The people that made it reached out to me like a month or two ago, and they wanted me to talk about it, but it was like really early on, so I basically said no. But then they gave me like, I don't know, like $20 worth of Safemoon, or maybe it was 40, and I sold 2/3 of it. And then I looked the other day and I had $200 in there. It was like 10 to 200 or something. I'm like, did you send me more or what? And I emailed them and they're like, oh, we got listed on this, this, and this, and this. I was like, oh. So then I transferred some to BNB and now I don't have any. I put I got 3/4 of a BNB out of it. So I was happy.
I can't beat that.
Yeah. But I haven't looked at the project recently. I don't know what they're doing. Really.
I'll be honest. Like I haven't looked into the project, so this isn't any negativity about the actual project itself. But when you put Safe or Moon in the title of your project, I just automatically go, no, I'm not talking about it, because I just, there's no need for that. Like imagine a real project calling themselves, Bitcoin something or Ethereum something or Cardano something. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just a ripoff.
Never gonna happen.
I know it's just half the word of Safemoon, but if you're a BSC project, you have tokenomics and you have Safe or Moon in your title, you're automatically registering as you're not serious in my head.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that you're not serious. I'm definitely not saying that. Safe Win or Safe whatever, Moon or anything could be a serious project, but I think you really need to, if you really want, because for my channel specifically, I know you guys are the same, but I only want to talk about projects that are making a difference in the world. So we got charity tokens, which I love. I love that. It's great. We can make money. We can donate to charity. That's an awesome thing. Or projects, or they could be also, creating some awesome stuff on the sidelines. But I only want to talk about projects that, are trying to be something.
Yep.
So like Elongate was the first charity token. They're trying to be something in the long run. Do you know what I mean? So if you put these copy names as a copy straight away, all of that stuff around Ethereum Max, I don't know if that's a fork of Ethereum or whatever it is, but automatically people who have been in the market for, just 4 years like myself, I automatically go, well, that's definitely, they're trying to get a quick win. Do you know what I mean? So it's I don't know. Just doesn't resonate with me.
Agreed. I think.
Sorry for my
rant. I say it like this, and you guys know I do my daily live streams where we look for new cryptos, right? Join it later, by the way. Shameless plug. But there's something that I say every time again, because they always put in chat. It'll be something Safe blank blank moon blank blank rise blank enu. And I say it, I'm like, okay, you guys want me to look at it, but I'm letting you know now, I'm already going into looking at it with a negative thought in my head because I don't like the name. And then it typically, unless you differentiate yourself so substantially to the point that there is genuinely no correlation between the two, between what you do and what they do other than the name, and you simply made the name that to get some attention, I can understand that. But if you're just copying, why would I buy you and not the original? It makes no sense. You know what I mean? It drives me nuts.
While we're here,
come up with another meme name.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Same with Elon. Do you know what I mean? It's the same. Another one with Elon in it. I'm like, nah. But just while we're on the subject, I know sometimes people watch these live streams and they want to respond to what we're saying. But if you fancy it, if you oppose what we're saying right now, I'm completely open. My DMs on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I would love to hear an argument as to why this is a wrong mentality to have. I'm totally open to hearing that, because it turns me off straight away if I see Safe or Moon or Elon or whatever it is, right? It turns me off straight away from the project. So I would love to hear an argument as to why that's a wrong opinion, because I'm totally open. If maybe I'm seeing it in the wrong light. But yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah. But yeah, please message any one of us if you have a sweet argument that you want to like put forward to that.
For sure. Someone also said if Safemoon doesn't 3000x, they would sell, by the way. Y'all got any questions on your side?
Not on my side. No.
Anything?
No.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Brian Buchanan says, no question, just compliments. Thank you all for such a great roundtable before work. Yeah, absolutely, Brian. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. I don't think I have any questions as well. So just a whole bunch of stuff, but no questions.
Well, guys, I think this is the first annual Money Morons podcast where you could hear me, you could see me, and I actually I made it. So from the start to the end. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I've been training all week. We made it. Mama made it.
Oh, guys. Also, there's a crypto that is allegedly, I don't know the truth behind this, okay? Allegedly trying to host a boxing event. And I'm publicly calling out Conor Kenny. So if this happens, me and Conor Kenny are going to throw down. But I will, if I lose, I will quit YouTube forever.
Well, you're obviously going to lose.
The funniest thing about it is people genuinely think me and Conor don't like each other. Like they genuinely don't, because
why do they think that?
You never see me and Conor being nice to each other, like ever. I just don't
like each other.
I just don't.
The truth. Yeah, so, I don't like you.
But yeah, no, I just thought that was funny. That'd be really fun if they did make that happen. I've always said I want to get my channel big enough that I can box one of the Paul brothers and knock them out, but I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Here's a quick question. Do you think you could? Because they are pretty big, right?
I don't. Yeah.
You think you could?
They would. Okay. Logan Paul would be a little bit harder because he's really, really big. But I'm not gonna lie. Like in training, a lot of my training partners are heavyweights, light heavyweights. It doesn't matter. They're slow. And they're just not good. But so I don't know. Maybe not knock them out, but I wouldn't lose.
What's your boxing game like?
It's better.
They only let you box, isn't it?
No, I did 16 kickboxing fights, so it would be hard for me to not just kick him in the knee or something. But it's decent. It's good enough for them. I know that for sure. But I don't know. I'd love to see it happen though.
We need a YouTuber Olympics.
Love it.
Where we play basketball. We box. Yeah. We play yard games.
Gymnastics.
Is that what you guys call it? Bags? By you?
What is that?
Cornhole.
Oh. Yeah. I don't
know what the rest of America does. We always drink beer and play bags or cornhole in our front yard here.
We don't have front yards in England, so.
In the flat, you have a little mini version.
Goodness. But I think that guys, I think that probably goes ahead and about wraps it all up. I know next week I'm going to be gone from Sunday to Sunday, so I definitely won't be a part of it. As probably Connor's pretty happy about that one. So I'm sure they'll take control of it. Follow them all on Twitter. Steven, do you have a Twitter, by the way?
I have a secret Twitter. No, okay. I don't have a Twitter I talk about.
Okay, well, I'm going to make Steven a public Twitter, and he has no choice. Message them on Twitter, follow them on everything, and then they'll update you guys on when the next episode is. And this was probably one of our most successful technical difficulty not having streams. We're on number 7 now. So the fact that we actually figured this out. Someone says Jake Paul would beat you handedly. I'm willing to bet you my entire crypto portfolio that he would not. Anyway. And
wait, someone said Tyler Hill, give them a taste of the Creole hands.
Oh,
I
dude.
like that.
I would bet my entire net worth, my entire channel, and every asset that I own that I would beat him, and that's no doubt in my mind. But anyway, so sorry to get a little aggressive here. That's gonna be it, guys. So definitely tune in next week. We're gonna be doing it. I know all of us have videos coming out today over the weekend. Stay in tune, and we'll be back within the next few weeks with another episode of The Money Morons. All right, guys. You have a good one.
Peace out.
Yeah.